If you've ever done something difficult, you do it because you know there's a payoff. A few years ago, I decided to go back to college as an adult, and it was a ton of work. I had a lot of late nights, a lot of homework that I didn't really care to do, but I did it because I knew that there was going to be a payoff. Over the past few weeks, we've been looking at the message of Jesus together and have found that he's called us to live radically different, to be bitterness blockers and reflect his light, to be ambassadors of his faithfulness, to love and bless our enemies even when they hate us. Today I want to look at the why. Why is Jesus calling us to live differently? What's the payoff? Why do we do it? What's in it for us? What's the whole point? Here at the end of Matthew 5, in the message of Jesus, Jesus explains why. In Matthew 5:48, he says, "Therefore you will be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect." A lot of people hear this statement and they kind of freak out because they hear, "You will be perfect," and they think, there's no way, it's not possible. And they hear almost the voice of an angry parent or an angry teacher who has these unrealistic expectations. The thing that you have to recognize about the New Testament in particular is that it wasn't written in English, it was written in Greek. And when you look at the Greek words, it makes a little more sense because it says, you will be perfect. That the Greek word for be is future tense. So Jesus is not telling us, be perfect today, get it all together, grow up, you got to get this done and right and perfect. He says, one day you will be perfect. That's your future. You will be perfect. And so what Jesus is getting at is a little bit different, and it's not quite as negative as we tend to make it. Here's what you have to always understand about Jesus. Jesus only ever brings good news, and here he brings us good news as well. The point here is that Jesus is the one who's perfecting us as we follow him, as we learn to obey him. Think of a person with some wood and a knife who is carving and making something beautiful. That's really what Jesus is doing. He's the one who's shaping us. He's the one who's making us perfect as we follow him. Here's the good news. If you believe in Jesus, if you follow him, you're going to heaven, and he will be perfecting you today and along the way, but one day you will be in heaven. You will be perfect and complete. Maybe like me, you get frustrated with your lack of progress, with your own brokenness. You want to be perfect, but you know that you are far from it. The good news of Jesus is this, is that one day you will be with him in heaven and you will be perfect. And that's the payoff. That's why it's worth it, because we know as we trust Jesus, as we follow him, he is perfecting us. He is making us like him. This week, don't try harder to be perfect. Let Jesus perfect you and rest in knowing that one day you will be perfect. You will be brought to the end as he continues the good work that he started, and you will be like your Father in heaven.